Hello students, welcome back to Lakshya Education Online. मेरा नाम है क्षितिज शर्मा. This episode is dedicated to mathematics statistics. Statistics is a chapter which you have studied in 9th standard. In 9th standard you have studied about data. There were grouped data and ungrouped data. In 9th standard you have also studied about some measures of central tendency in statistics. These measures of central tendency, what you have calculated in 9th standard were mean, median and mode. In 10th standard, we have once again the chapter statistics. Now, first of all, I will tell you what is the weightage of this chapter in 10th standard. In board examination, this chapter will have weightage total 6 marks, out of which there will be one question for 1 mark, one question for 2 marks, and one question for 3 marks. Total 6 marks weightage of this chapter. All the tendencies, mean, median and mode we have to calculate in this chapter, but now in 10th standard we have to calculate all these for grouped data. So let us start chapter number 14, statistics, episode number 1. Mean. Mean means average. Average means getting the average value of all the given observations. You know what is the symbol for mean? It is X bar, as you have studied in 9th standard. And in 9th standard, we have studied about the formula of mean for ungrouped data. Let's check it. So as we know that mean is called the average value of the given data. As in standard 9, we have studied about the formula to find mean of ungrouped data. Mean, X bar. This is the symbol to get mean. It is called X bar equal to sigma xi upon n. This is the formula to get mean of ungrouped data. Here sigma indicates addition or sum. Sigma xi means sum of all the given observations and n is the total number of observations. It means mean x bar equal to sum of all the given observations divided by total number of observations. Let's check an example. Suppose we are given here some observations. We have to find the mean of these given observations. The observations are 8, 13, 19, 20, 23, 25 and 30. We know that the formula to get the mean of this data is x bar equal to sigma xi upon n. Here n is the number of observations and it is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7. So here there are 7 observations. So n equal to 7. Now according to this formula, sigma xi means sum of all these observations. Therefore, X bar will be sum of all these observations divided by 7. If you do the sum of these observations, 8 plus 13 plus 19 plus 20 plus 23 plus 25 plus 30, you will get the addition 138 divided by 7. If we divide 138 by 7, we will get 19.71. So here mean, that is X bar of this observations is 19.71. This is the mean of all these observations. So this is the way we can get the mean of given ungrouped data. There is one more formula to get mean of grouped data. This one is also which you have studied in 9th standard. The formula is X bar equal to sigma fi xi upon sigma fi. Here sigma fi is also called n. So you can also say X bar equal to sigma fi xi upon n. So this is a formula to find mean of grouped data. Let us see one example for this method also. So here is your question. The question is you have to find the mean of this given data. The data is about 100 students and they have marks obtained in an exam of 100 marks paper. See here, the marks obtained, that is xi. The marks obtained are given here 15 marks, 20, 25, 32, 35 and so on. And the number of students, that is fi, means the number of students which have obtained 15 marks is there are 2 students. 20 marks obtained by 3 students. Then 7 students have obtained 25 marks. 4 students have obtained 32 marks. 10 students have obtained 35 marks and so on. This is the given data. Now your question is, you have to find mean of this given data. As it is grouped data, you are given xi and fi as the two quantities and you have to get the mean. As we know that to find the mean of this data, earlier we discussed about the formula. It is x bar equal to sigma fi xi upon n or sigma fi. Let us first of all find sigma fi, that is total number of students. As it is given here, there are total 100 students. It means the total number of students, that is sigma fi equals to 100, that is already given. If it is not given here in your question, then you have to add all these numbers and you have to get sigma fi. Now, the first thing you need to do is you have to make other column and you have to find fi xi. Fi xi is the product of fi and xi, these two quantities. Like 15 is xi for the first term and fi is 2. Therefore, 15 multiplied by 2 will be 30. Then 20 multiplied by 3 is 60. So this way you can get all the numbers here fi xi. Now students, you have to pause this video and you have to calculate all these fi xi yourself. So first of all, pause the video and calculate all these fi xi, then we will discuss the further question. So if you have calculated all these numbers by multiplying fi and xi, let us get what numbers you get. Here 25 multiplied by 7 will be 175, 32 multiplied by 4 is 128, 35 multiplied by 10 is 350, and all these multiplications I have written here. So these are fi multiplied by xi. This is the product of fi and xi. I'm sure you have got this. Now we have to get the sum of these all fi xi, that is sigma fi xi. Again, you have to try it yourself. You have to do the addition of all these numbers. Pause the video. And my students, you cannot use calculator for all these calculations. So be careful about this. Do it. So if you have got the addition of fi xi, all these fi xi, then sigma fi xi will be 5921. Now to get the mean of this data, as we know the formula, x bar equal to sigma fi xi upon sigma fi. Sigma fi xi we have already got, it is 5921 divided by sigma fi, that is 100. So 5921 divided by 100 will be 59.21. Therefore, mean of this data is 59.21. This is a method which you have studied in 9th standard. If you want to do more practice for these kind of sums, you can refer your 9th standard book once again. So check this method. This method is also called direct method. Now what is new for mean in this chapter in 10th standard? To find mean in 10th standard we have three methods. Yes, to find mean we have three methods. First method is direct method. Second method is method of assumed mean. And the third method is step deviation method. All these methods are for finding mean only. If you find the mean from any of these methods, you will get the same answer. In the question, it will be written that you have to find the mean by which method. If it is mentioned, then you have to find by the mentioned method. Otherwise, you can find it by any of these methods. In this episode, episode number 1, we will understand the first method, direct method. I will explain you some of the sums from exercise 14.1 by direct method. The next episode will be about the next method. So right now you have to focus on one method and then I will give you remaining sums to do yourself. So first of all, understand this method thoroughly. Let's start. First method, direct method. In 9th standard, what you did, this data was undistributed data. Now in 10th, we have to get mean for distributed data. Now see here, what is the difference between undistributed and distributed data? In the example which we have seen earlier, in that the marks obtained, that is xi, was given as a single number. Now see the question number 1 in exercise 14.1 in your textbook. On page number 271, question number 1 is, there is a survey made by some students of 20 houses for number of plants in the houses. The data is given here and we have to get mean number of plants per house. See here, as there are 20 number of houses, so number of houses are given here. If you do the total of all these numbers, you will get 20. Now number of plants are given here. This data is distributed data. Here 0 to 2 plants, number of houses is 1. 2 to 4 plants, number of houses is 2. 4 to 6 plants, number of houses is 1. 6 to 8 plants, number of houses is 5. 8 to 10 plants, 6 houses. 10 to 12 plants, 2 houses, and 12 to 14 plants, there are 3 houses. So this is distributed data. Here this is called a class. 0 to 2, 2 to 4, 4 to 6, all these are called class. In this class, the lower value is also called lower limit of the class, and this is called upper limit of the class. So for all the classes you get a lower limit and an upper limit. Here xi is not given. Number of houses is fi. So here your fi is number of houses. But here your xi is not given as the data is having classes. The first thing you need to do is you have to find first of all xi. Here in this case xi is called class mark of the class, or it is also called mid value of the class. Now the formula of class mark is lower limit plus upper limit divided by 2. For each class you have to find first of all class mark. For example, for class 1 the lower limit is 0. So we can write lower limit 0 plus upper limit is 2 divided by 2. We know 0 plus 2 is 2 and 2 divided by 2 is 1. So for class 1 the class mark is 1. As this class mark is indicated by xi, so for the first class we can get xi equals to 1. Now similarly you can get the class mark or the mid value for remaining classes. Again lower limit plus upper limit divided by 2. 2 plus 4, 6. 6 divided by 2 will be 3. So 3 is the class mark for class 2. Then 4 plus 6, 10 divided by 2 will be 5. Next is 6 plus 8, 14 divided by 2 will be 7. 8 plus 10, 18 divided by 2 will be 9. 10 plus 12, 22 divided by 2 will be 11. And 14 plus 12, 26 divided by 2 will be 13. So these are the class marks or the mid value of this data. Now next thing we have to do is product of fi and xi. As this is direct method, we know the formula x bar equal to sigma fi xi divided by sigma fi. Product of fi and xi for first term is 1 multiplied by 1 will be 1. Now you have to do the multiplication of all these terms yourself. Pause the video and do it yourself and then check it out. So if you have got this multiplication, let us check it. 2 into 3 will be 6, 1 into 5 will be 5, 5 into 7 35, 6 into 9 54, 11 into 2 22 and 13 into 3 39. Now after getting this fi xi, what you have to do is you have to get sigma fi xi. Sigma fi xi is sum of all these fi xi terms. So do it yourself, pause the video and then check it. So here sum of all these fi xi terms is 162. So sigma fi xi is 162. One more thing, sigma fi is the sum of all fi terms. As here there are 20 houses, so sum of all these terms is 20. Now we have to get mean of this data. As we know that mean equal to, formula is x bar equal to sigma fi xi divided by sigma fi. Here we have got sigma fi xi is 162 divided by sigma fi is 20. If you divide 162 divided by 20, you will get 8.1. So here mean of this data is 8.1 plants per house. So this is the mean of this given data. This is the direct method. Now the next question which we are going to solve is question number 4 from exercise number 14.1. Here there is a data of 30 women examined in a hospital, and the number of heartbeats per minute of these all women is recorded. We have to find the mean heartbeat per minute for each woman. Let us see here, number of beats per minute 65 to 68. There are two number of women. For number of heartbeats 68 to 71, there are 4 women. 71 to 41 heartbeats per minute, 3 women. 74 to 77, 8 women. 77 to 80, there are 7 women. 80 to 83, 4 women. And 83 to 86, there are 2 women. The number of women is Fi. So we can get first of all sigma Fi, that is total number of Fi. As there are 30 women, means if you do the sum of all these numbers, it will be 30. We have to get Xi. We know what is Xi. Xi is class mark, and the formula for class mark is lower limit plus upper limit divided by 2. Now let's see, for the first class, lower limit is 65, upper limit is 68. So if we want to get its class mark, it will be 65 plus 68 divided by 2. So the sum will be 133 divided by 2. 133 divided by 2 will be 66.5. That means the class mark for the first class is 66.5. For the second class, it will be 68 plus 71 divided by 2 will be 139 divided by 2. It will be 69.2. So for class number 2, Xi is 69.2. Now similarly, you have to calculate Xi for each of these classes. So pause the video and do it yourself. So these are the remaining values of Xi for this given data. Now after getting this, we have to get Fi(xi), that will be the product of Fi and Xi. So you have to multiply these numbers. You have to be careful, as this is a decimal fraction. You have to multiply it by these numbers. So we get 66.5 multiplied by 2, 133. Further, 69.5 multiplied by 4, you will get 278. 278. Similarly, do the rest of the calculations. Let's check it. So here the further calculations are as I have written here. You just check all the calculations. Now next thing is you have to get sigma Fi(xi), that is sum of all these terms. Do the addition of all these numbers and get sigma Fi(xi). So here the sum of all these Fi(xi) will be 2277. 2277. Now as we want to get mean, so we know that according to the direct method, the formula of mean is x bar equal to sigma Fi(xi) upon sigma Fi. Here sigma Fi(xi) is 2277 divided by 30. Now you have to do first of all the division. 2277 divided by 30. Pause the video, get the division and get the answer. You will get the answer 2277 divided by 30. It will be 75.9. This is the mean of this given data. It means the mean heartbeat per minute is x bar equal to 75.9 heartbeat per minute. This is your answer. Now the next question I'm taking is from exercise 14.1, question number 7. In this question, there is a data about the concentration of sulfur dioxide gas in air in ppm, parts per million, for 30 localities. We have to find the mean concentration of SO2 in air. See here, the concentration of sulfur dioxide in parts per million. The classes are given here. 0.00 to 0.04 ppm, the frequency of number of localities is 4, that is Fi. 0.04 to 0.08 frequency is 9, 0.08 to 0.12 frequency is 9, 0.12 to 0.16 frequency is 2, 0.16 to 0.20 frequency is 4, and 0.20 to 0.24 frequency is 2. We know class mark is lower limit plus upper limit divided by 2. For class 1, lower limit is 0.00 plus upper limit is 0.04 divided by 2. Sum of these two will be 0.04 divided by 2, that will be 0.02. So the class mark for class 1 is 0.02. Similarly, you have to get class mark for all these terms, upper limit plus lower limit divided by 2. So once again, pause the video, do the calculation and then check out. So the class mark for the remaining classes will be as I have written here. Now you have to get FI/XI. FI/XI is the multiplication of Fi and Xi. The first one will be 4 multiplied by 0.02. 4 into 2 will be 8, that is 0.08. The further you have to do yourself, multiply all these terms. You have to be careful while multiplying these terms because here we have decimal fractions. So carefully do this multiplication and then check it. I hope you have tried it yourself, and now let us check what values we are getting. 9 multiplied by 0.06, it will be 0.54. 9 multiplied by 0.10, it will be 0.90. 2 multiplied by 0.14, that is 0.28. 4 into 0.18, that is 0.72. 2 into 0.22, it is 0.44. The next thing is sum of all FI/XI, that is sigma FI/XI. So once again, I would tell you to pause the video and get the addition of all these terms and then check it out. The sum of all these FI/XI, that is 2.96. To get mean, x bar equal to sigma FI/XI divided by sigma Fi. Here sigma Fi is the sum of the frequencies. Do the sum of all these terms, as there are 30 localities, so it is 30. Therefore, we will get 2.96 divided by 30. Pause the video and do it yourself. You have not to use the calculator once again. You must get the division equal to 0.0986. That is, you can write 0.09. See here, after 8 there is 6. It is more than 5. If the last digit is 5 or more than 5, you can remove it and add one digit to the previous digit. So it will become 0.099 ppm, that is parts per million. So this is your answer. So my dear students, this was the explanation about mean by direct method. As I explained you, question number 1, 4 and 7 from exercise 14.1. Now from the same exercise, the remaining sums, question number 2, 5, 6, 8 and 9, you have to try yourself. You have understood the method. If you have some doubt in this method, then again watch the video once more and practice this method once again. The remaining sums you have to do yourself. Here one question we have left, that is question number 3, which we have not discussed yet, and that you have not to do right now, because this question is about finding missing frequency. This question we will solve after understanding all the 3 methods. So right now don't worry about that question. First of all, you have to practice for method number 1. In the next episode, we will understand the second method, method of assumed mean. Till then, do practice of first method. If you like my videos, then give me like and share these videos with your friends. Subscribe the channel if you have not done yet, and hit the bell icon for the next coming videos notification. So keep on studying. Be with me on Lakshya Education Online.